Brian Hicks got into comedy over 15 years ago. It's been nearly 2 years, Mayor, 2 years since we had him on the Morning Blend last.
He brings his wit and signature audience interaction back to the Funny Bone.
Brian is here this morning. Good to see you, Brian.
Yeah, good morning. How are you guys doing?
It's
been a couple. I've been great. Yeah.
I think we talked about your kids last time you were on the show, right?
Yeah.
Your family's growing? Or
they are. They're getting big, and you know, traveling's tough when you have a family because you miss things. You know, there's always a t-ball game or gymnastics, and that's just my wife. The kids do things too. You know, sometimes I miss a lot.
Is she good at t-ball?
She's getting better. Let's just put it that way.
Do you ever travel with your family? I was just telling Mary I went on a family vacation. It was our first, because I've got little ones. I got a 3- and a 5-year-old, but that was our first family vacation. Do you ever travel with them in the car?
Yeah, I did it one time, and I'll never do that again.
How'd it go?
We actually did. We went on vacation last week, not to do shows or anything, but as a vacation. It was great, you know. We were a little worried because it was our first big trip together, but, you know, everyone had their earbuds in and focused on what they're doing.
Didn't have to talk to each other, right?
Well, there was a little bit of, it's kind of cramped in the back seat with 3 of them together.
Stop touching me.
Yeah,
Stop touching me.
There was definitely a lot of that.
Did you have siblings too? I mean, you understand it growing up.
Yeah, I grew up with 5 kids, so I got to use my dad's line. I will turn around. I swear, I will turn this thing around.
Did you have that freak out moment where you said, "Oh my gosh, I'm turning into
It's
my
horrible,
dad"?
and yeah, they come along, and you're like, "Hey, oh, geez, I got to stop this," but you know, it's part of parenting.
Yes.
Yeah, well, when you're driving, it's just so, because I was driving most of the time, and the kids, you know, when they start raising a fuss, a ruckus back there, and my wife is sleeping, and I'm dealing with this as I'm driving. It gets a little frustrating.
Hit a bump, wake her up. Hey, come on, deal with them back there.
Wake up, come on. I'm trying to focus on the road.
10 and 2.
Long before you had a family is when you got into comedy. And I'm wondering how you got your start in it. I mean, was there a catalyst?
Yeah, you know what? I started at a comedy club working as a doorman. I remember I saw an ad in the paper, and they go, we're hiring doorman. So I called, and I go, oh, I'm really interested in this job. I didn't tell them I was 5'7", and I couldn't, you know, lift my knapsack out of the car or whatever, but I came in, and sure enough, he liked me, and it was more than just being a doorman. It was working sound, lights, running the shows and stuff. It was great. I was there about 6 months, got to meet comics. They would come in, and I was go back and forth with them, and a few of them said, you want to be a comic, don't you? And I go, I really don't. I just really like working here. I thought it was great, and then the rest of the staff, they dared me to go up on stage one night, and I did on a Saturday night, first show ever.
Wow.
I always think it's great asking comics about their first time on the stage. Do you remember yours? What was it like?
Yeah, absolutely. So my first joke, it was Christmas time, I remember, and so there was a tree and gifts and stuff, and so I walked up, and then my first line was, this is my first time on stage, in case anyone is wondering if I had stage presence. There they are, right over there. And a star was born, pretty much, you know. I do remember, I didn't look, I did like 15 minutes, which is unheard of for your first time on stage.
I think that's quite
Coming
funny.
out with your best stuff.
Yeah, right out of the box. And I remember not looking at one person in the crowd. I pretty much held the microphone, and I stared down at my shoes, and I heard some laughter and stuff, and I was like, this is going great, you know, let's get out of here.
But that takes time to develop, working with the crowd, making eye contact, making them feel like
finding your
part
voice.
of your,
It is just getting up on stage and becoming yourself on stage. That's when it all comes out, and that's when you really start to.
Your style of with audience interaction is something that people talk about after they see your show. So how do you get fans involved?
Sure, I don't mind talking to them. Some comics like to stick to the script and just do their thing, and I like it when I say something and they say something that's funny, because I think it really just adds to the show. I don't have to be that guy that, oh, you're funny, and slam them or anything. I kind of let it go and roll with it a little bit and see where it goes and stuff. And then hopefully a topic will come up where I have a joke about it, and I slip it in, and nobody knows the difference.
And then you're right back there.
And it was like, man, that guy's quick.
Wow,
that guy is quick.
But he is. Like your wit is something else where people say that you just come up with stuff, and they're just getting it a few minutes later. They're like, oh, that was great. So a chance to see Brian this weekend. He was not in Omaha in 2014, so we're happy to have him back at the Funny Bone now. Tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, 5 shows total. Call to get tickets or log on to funnyboneomaha.com.
Yeah, Brian, great to see you again.
Yeah,
come back more than once every couple of years.
Well, I'm gonna try every month. If we can get me on every month, I'll.
Every Friday would be good too.
Fridays would be great. Yeah.
All things in moderation.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Including moderation.
Including
Great
moderation.
to have you.
Thanks a lot.
Still ahead, the contest where Mikey here has a special role, the experience you could win, and how to register.
A successful College World Series. We're going to feature a family of fans in our picture of the day.